Hi guys, happy Wednesday. I love how many people we have on. I think Wednesdays are working awesome for everybody. Um, Super excited to be here with you guys. Leah and I were talking about something that we think like we need to hear more of, or something that really speaks to us where we are. And we're like, okay, so if we need to hear it, then you guys definitely need to hear it too. And it's really refreshing. And so we're going to share some really important, I don't know if tips is the right word, but ways to think about rejection, and all of those no's that you'll inevitably gonna get if you are actively working the business and inviting people every day, because that is one of our daily vital behaviors. So super excited to share with you guys. I'm gonna start us off with a few different mindset tricks, Jedi mind tricks, and Leanna's gonna wrap it up with some really good ones to help us moving forward. And so
this is some, sorry, I'm totally interrupting, but this is something that like can help you with keeping the vision long term. And I feel like that's like the hard thing, like when you lose your vision and you lose like why you're doing this and where you're going, which is so easy to do when you get like a lot of rejection. And so like the more that we can dive into this and like stretch ourselves and be okay with rejection, like the more you'll have that like persistence and grit to keep going. So
yes. So first thing to think about is, as coaches, you are running a business. You are an entrepreneur, and this business is limitless if you decide to put in the work. What I love about it is there's no cap on it. Like me as a teacher, it's like every single year, it's like, okay, you can make this much money this year, and you can make this much money this year, and you make this much money this year, and it's all like laid out in set in stone for you. And I was like, so why should I even try and work any harder and do anything better? And so what I love about this business is the opportunity for growth. But it is a business based off of rejection. Like your success is based off of the no's that you get and how many no's you get. The more no's you get, the more success you're going to have, which kind of sounds like counterintuitive. But it's because, like Lena said, it's creating that momentum for the long run. So the more no's you have now creates more yeses in the future. If you send 50 invites tonight to people and you get 49 no's, then, you got one yes, which is awesome. But those no's are people who are now paying attention to your story and your journey. They're like, okay, no, I don't want to do this now, but they're still watching you. And as long as you continue to keep showing up, they're going to keep watching you. And eventually they're going to turn into a yes. Like I know for me, I watched Carly for probably 6 or 8 months before I joined as just a client. I was the type of person where it's like she first reached out to me. Actually, I had 4, I think, other coaches reach out to me about the Beachbody coaching opportunity. And I was like, nope, not right now. Nope, not right now. I was like, I'm just started a Tone It Up program. I want to do that. Okay, I just started a BBG program. I want to do that. And what I noticed is Carly continued to show up every single day, regardless of if I said no 1 time, 4 times, or 7 times. She still showed up and she still followed up with me. And so when it was right for me and when it was like something that I needed, she was there. So think about how many times like you might have said no to Leanna or I when we first introduced this opportunity, when we first introduced our challenge groups to you. Like how many times did you say no? Or how many times did you maybe see our call to action, be like, oh, I want to do that, but then you didn't? Or how many times did like we invite you to our free group and we invite you to our sneak peek and we invite you to join like whatever thing we were doing, and you're like, well, it sounds great, but not right now. Or it sounds great, but like, no, I don't want to do this now. Like think of how many times you did that, because all of the people you're talking to are probably going to need that kind of push and that kind of support and that kind of patience with you, where you're just going to keep showing up and say, hey, like you do you. I'm going to keep inviting you to this because I'm going to keep doing this because this is a lifestyle for me. And I see that you're, watching my stories, or you're following up my pages, or you're liking my posts. So I know you're watching. So I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep sharing my journey. I'm going to keep growing and progressing, whether you come with me or not. And I'm going to keep inviting you every single month because you're still following on my pages and my stories and everything. So what's crazy for me to think about is if Carly had not kept showing up, like, would I have even joined this community in the first place? And it's, it's something that you can't determine, but it's, she did keep showing up. Like, would I have signed up with another coach? I don't know. Would I have just like not been a part of this community and not known what I was missing out on? Like, that's possible too. But today's no's, or the no's in September, are going to turn into yeses come January, when people need your help and they're mentally ready to commit to this journey. And so in order for them to turn those no's into yeses, they need to trust you, and they need to see that you are showing up every single day in your journey. So that's, sharing in your stories that you're working out, sharing snippets of your workout, maybe sharing that you don't feel like working out and you're doing it anyways because you've got this incredible, accountability group that's pushing you to do it. Or be like, hey, I feel great because I did show up today. And then sharing a post about it at some point so they can see in your stories, if they're watching your stories, and they can also see on your post that you're showing up every single day in September, in October, in November, in December, and you're going to keep going come January, February, March, April. So when they're ready, they know they have a place to go to. So this business, that's kind of the first thing I'm going to talk about, is that it's based off of no's, and your successes come from the more no's that you get. So that's kind of like tip number one, or trick number one. And then going hand in hand with that is that a no isn't a no forever. It's a not right now. Because as I'm sure all of us can relate, it took a little while before we were ready to jump in fully to this community. I don't actually know of anybody who was like, the first time somebody invited them to join the community was like, yes, I'm in, 100% going for it. So recognize that people need to build trust in you. And so they're still watching you, even if they don't say anything, even if you send them an invite because they clicked like on your poll for your sneak peek and they never replied to you, and you go to send it for the next month and you see that there's like 4 or 5 different invites there that they never responded to. They're still showing up on your stories because you're still showing up on your stories, and they're going to keep watching you. And if they decide to unfollow you or block you or whatever, then we move on to the next one. But they're not going to trust you if they don't see you showing up every single day. And the last little part of that snippet is that we can't force people to do things. And so if they say no, that means they're not ready for it right now. But they will be eventually. And so continuing to show up builds the trust that like, okay, I'm not ready for your accountability group in November, but maybe come January or February, when like my life is sorted out a little bit more, I will be ready for it. And they need to know that you're going to be there, that they can count on you to be there. So that way, when they are ready, you're there to support them, and they're ready to trust you with their journey. So this is the first 2, and Leanne's going to pick it up from here.
Yay, so good. So many good things. Okay, I have to find where I start my notes because my notes are so messy. Okay, so she shared like the 2 first tips. So the second or the third thing, wow, my brain. The third thing is to go for no. So like if you guys are taking notes, write that down. Go for no. And it can almost kind of become fun this way. If you're like going for no, if you are going into invites with this mindset of like, I'm expecting a no, then it's almost like a game, and you can like tally it. Like you can give yourself a little competition and go, okay, I'm going to invite like 63 people and I'm going to see how many no's I get. Like you can even have competitions with other coaches. Like I know I have like message pods for all you ladies on our team, on Team Wholehearted. So like in there, pair up with a friend or find a success partner and say, hey, do you want to have like a bunch of no's today? Or like, hey, do you want to try and get like as many no's as possible today? So tally out your no's, because exactly what Megan said, the more no's you're getting now is more yeses down the line. And this is like more opportunities for following up with people. So think of like all those little seeds you're planting over and over and over with all these different people. And a really important thing to remember, like while you're getting these no's, is dig a bit deeper with the person. Like if you get a no, you shouldn't just turn away and be like, okay, all depressed, and then like, walk away from the conversation. Like, dig deeper with them, build the relationship, because if our business is about relationships and building strong and like really good relationships, like my team, like all of you guys here, you're here because we built a relationship. And so find out why. Like, why are they saying no to you? Is it because they have, I don't know, a pregnancy this month? Or is it because they already have a membership to a gym and they don't want to spend the money? Like, find out why, so that you can write that down in your notes, track it, go to them next month and ask, hey girl, how's, this gym membership going? How are your workouts doing? And be genuine, because ultimately, like, we want to see people succeed. And so if they can succeed with that, awesome. But like, in my opinion, nothing ever has worked for me, and I've done so many different things. So like, I know for a fact that this is something that works. And so I want to be there the second that whatever they're doing stops working, so that I can offer them my assistance and my help and say, let's get you connected. Let's get you tools, like, so that you can start succeeding. And that's just going to build the trust and build the relationship when you can come back to them month after month after month of them rejecting you. And you're like, hey, how's this going? How's your new baby? How's this? And they're like, oh my gosh, like, this person really cares about me. It wasn't just about sale. It wasn't just about, me signing up with them for whatever it was. So make sure you're digging deep and finding out like what their story is with everything. That's the one thing I remembered about Carly when I signed up with her. It was like, we honestly didn't chat over Instagram for a very long time. She got my email, and then we talked on email for like a month before I signed up. And the reason I signed up with her, because it was a lot of money for me back then, but the reason was because I had nothing that was working. Like, I was yo-yo dieting and like losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight. But she like resonated with me in all these ways about like yoga and other like aspects of life. And she just took the time to get to know me for like a full month. We emailed back and forth and like became friends. And that was so weird to me, but I was like, she's cool. Like, okay, I want to sign up with her. So try to befriend them, like try to get to know them. And also, I mean, I already said this, but like, they'll give you something that you can remember and build off of, like whether it's, oh, I already have a membership to a gym, you can build off of that later on and, like seek out their problem and build off and come back and say, like, you can take our workouts to the gym if you like going to the gym, or you can say, do you like, if they say, I have a gym membership, it costs this much money, maybe it's a lot more than what the online gym is. Then you can say, do you want like a better option? You want, workouts that are cheaper and you get more access like for a longer amount of time, and you get a virtual community of support, and you get meal plans and like blah, blah, blah. And another thing that's really fun to do is you can respond with videos. So you can, I don't know if you guys have ever done that through DMs, but it's super, like, I just love it, because when I've responded to girls with a video message, like, it's more fun for me. It's easier for me. And they usually respond like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you sent me a video. Like, I can't believe you're a real person. I'm like, duh, I'm a real person. Like, I'm over here. So that can go a lot further than messages even sometimes. And you can like use that video to explain whatever they're confused about, or maybe, they gave you something to work with, and then you want to explain how our gym is better, or how our gym has just worked for you better. So that's always super helpful. Another thing I've learned in those conversations is you don't necessarily, like, when they say no, and then the reason is because I have a gym membership, or I'm doing Weight Watchers, or I'm doing Tone It Up, like, you don't have to come at them and be like, well, that doesn't work, I've tried that. Like, you don't want to like attack anybody. You don't want to tell them to quit instantly. And I've definitely done that before, and it does not turn out well. But you want to use it as an opportunity to encourage them. Like I said before, like, be an advocate for their success, so that in the long run, like, if you keep checking up on them every single month, and then, you see that they're succeeding, they're like, oh my gosh, this girl like truly cares about you, about me. And that's like what really matters. And that's what we want to get across to people, because social media is so like blasted right now with people in MLM or network marketing schemes, and like doing it in such a gross salesy way. So like, the more authentic and like true you can be with people and show them that you care, like the better and the more likely they're gonna like want to sign up with you and join you. I think I just like talked about everything. So the second half of this is having no expectations. So every time you go into these conversations, like, I mean, go for no, that is kind of an expectation for no, but it's in a fun way, but have like no expectations, like leave it up to whatever happens in the conversation, because then you have no attachment. And I know, like, if any of you are yogis, like that's totally the thing we always talk about in yoga and yoga teaching and training is like, you have to go into things with non-attachment mindset, because if you're not attached to the outcome, then the outcome doesn't matter, you know? And you can go into these conversations like hopeful, but stay pretty neutral, because what we've been saying over and over and over and over, like the no isn't a bad thing. Like, get out of your mind that like no is negative. Just because it's a negative word doesn't mean it's a bad thing when they say no, because it's a seed planted. And like, if I sent out 62, 63 invites or whatever, and I get 61 or 62 no's, and I get one person that said yes, and like maybe they signed up within 3 days, like that's so exciting. And you can use that momentum to like push you forward and do your invites the next day. And on top of that, like we've said a million times, you'll have 62 people to follow up with next month or the next month or 3 months from now. Like, it's just, you're building your network, and that's like truly what matters, is adding more people to your network and your pipeline, and then like cultivating really good relationships and nurturing those relationships. And then like, remember, when it comes to like Success Club, you know, these points are based on lives changed, and like your business is built on Success Club. And so your business is built on lives changed. And so the more no's you can get in these conversations, like you can trust sometime down the road, they're going to be yeses. So like, regardless of if this person is a Success Club point now, like they're going to be eventually. So just like, don't stress out about it. Like, lose the fear in your conversations, because oftentimes, like when I first started out, I would go into my conversations and just be afraid to even like enter into my DMs, which is so stupid, because your DMs are literally like a paycheck sitting there, you know, if you have unanswered messages. So don't be afraid to go into them. Like, go into them without attachment, without expectation, and just be you. And like, allow that to give you freedom to just start more conversations and follow up with more conversations and more people. And it kind of like takes the pressure off of you. And like I said before, like it makes conversations fun, because there is no pressure to get this certain outcome, because you can trust, like if you stay consistent and if you keep showing up and proving to all those people that said no, and then, you know, 6 months from now, they finally are ready and they see you're still there, still showing up, they're going to say yes with you. So like, it all works out. So you don't have to be afraid for anything. And also remember, like a lot of coaches in our network who are amazing coaches, like, I don't know if you guys have heard of Kate Morgan, but we love her. Like, I'm obsessed with her lately. And her journey is super interesting, but she said no to her coach, Ashley Faldyson, for 9 months, I think. So she like just kept following up with her and be like, how are you, girl? Like, what are you doing? And she was like, I'm doing Weight Watchers. Now I'm doing this. Now I'm trying keto. Now I'm trying, you know, being plant-based and vegan. And it's like, those are all awesome things to try. But like, the coach who was asking Kate knew that none of it would be consistent and maintainable for her. And so she just kept being a friend, showing up, asking her how she was doing. And then 9 months later, she said yes. And now she's like an incredible coach, like one of the top 200 coaches, I think, in our network right now. Like, so it's like, if you not wait around, but if you just like keep doing your thing and keep moving forward in your business, you could have a rock star coach like come out of the blue and be like, I've been watching you for 3 years now. I'm ready to sign up. And then they just run with you and it's super fun and you become best friends. Like, you just cannot, like, that's why expectations, like you have to leave them at the door and let go of all expectations, because you literally never know who's going to do what, who's going to sign up when. It kind of goes back to like the divine timing thing. So the last point, I just want to like ask you a few questions. Will you be here a year from now? Like, ask yourself that tonight. because if you will be here a year from now, I guarantee you all the no's like that you've gotten already and that you're super distraught about and you're like being hard on yourself for, and you're depressed because you haven't gotten any Success Club points or whatever, like if you're here a year from now, those people will have a reason to sign up with you a year from now. And if they're still not ready, be here like the next year and the next year, and like be here to the point when they're ready, not because you're waiting for them, but because you're doing your thing and you're crushing it and you're getting results and your journey matters. And like that will just be leading by example for those people, and they'll want to sign up with you even more. They'll be like, wow, like you're so inspiring. You've been doing this for 5 years or whatever it is. And then the next question, I mean, pretty much I've already said this, but like just ask yourself, will I be here long enough for my rockstar coaches to show up alongside of me? Because like all you guys who are building teams and starting to work your business now, like you want to find your tribe. You want to find your people who will run with you or who will work alongside of you. Just like a lot of you guys are now working alongside of me and Megan, and it's so fun. And so like if you stop showing up and you stop being consistent, like your coaches and your dream team out there, like they're never going to know. It's like, it's our job to stay consistent as coaches so that someday down the road when they're ready or when they come around, like they'll see us and be so pumped up and sign up, and then your team is growing. So just know like your rockstar coaches and your people, your tribe is out there, and it's just a matter of time. Like it's literally just a matter of time. Because with building a team specifically, it doesn't take 1 million people to build a really, really strong team. It literally just takes like 2 really strong, badass coaches who are willing to work and run alongside of you. And that can build like a super successful business. So like the longer you stay here, like the closer you'll be to finding those people, and the more successful and lucrative your business will be, to a point where like you can depend on this, you know, for a good income, like a solid income that will replace your current job's income if you want it to. Like it's possible. So yes, that is all I got. If you guys have any questions, I don't know if Megan, you want to say anything else?
I just want to add in one little thought. And it was something that like I had to change my mindset on when I first started, because even before I signed up as a challenger, I just had this like negative association towards Beachbody. I don't know what it was. And I think many of us probably had that as well. I don't know why it gets a bad like rap. I don't understand now that I'm a part of it, but I definitely had that going into it. And so, for my first month or so, it's like I was going through the motions, but I wasn't fully committed to it. And what I had to do was kind of change my mindset, because I realized that through 2 rounds of 21-day fix, like I started a program and I finished a program, and I had never done that in like 3 years prior through any sort of routine I was trying to do before. And I was proud of my progress. And so I switched my mindset to the point where when you are genuinely proud of what you have to offer, then the no's aren't scary. It's like somebody says no, it's like, cool, your loss. I'll be here next month when you're ready. And I don't actually say that to them. That's like what I say in my head when they say no. I don't tell them it's your loss. But I'm just like, okay, like I understand that you might not be ready now, but I know that you will be. And so I'm going to keep showing up, and I'm going to keep helping other people until you are ready. And I'm going to keep inviting you to this until you're ready, because you're still creeping on my pages. And sometimes I will send a message where it's like, hey, I see you creeping. Like, do you want to be a part of our group? I'm definitely not afraid to say that. But take a moment and think back to where you were before this community, and think of where you are now that you're a part of this community, and be proud of that growth that you've made, and be proud of those connections you've made, and be proud of this community that we have created through our online fitness groups, through freaking Facebook. Like that Fall Into Wellness group, if you guys are all a part of that, is incredible this month. And it's like there are so many people who are committing to live their healthiest lifestyle because you guys are showing up every single day, and because you are not you're not letting the excuses take control, because you're putting in the work. And so once you can wrap your mind around like what, like I am proud to be a part of this community. I am proud of the groups we run every single month. I am proud of the lives that I can help change. And once I was able to wrap my head around that feeling, it's like the no's aren't scary because I know they'll come back eventually because I know I'm going to keep showing up. So that was my last little blurb. I don't know if you guys have any questions about anything, but that's what we're here for now.
And you guys can ask questions about anything. It doesn't have to be on topic for this call. But something else I heard that was really good is know too, like when people, if you're sending out invites and you're showing up consistently on your social media and you're posting and you're being an inspiration to other people, like you are changing lives on the daily. Like even though it's not through a Success Club point from a challenge pack, like that, yes, that's the goal. We want to provide people with the like complete solution to their health. But even if they didn't sign up that day, like know and like keep it as a mindset and an affirmation that you can tell yourself on the daily, like I am changing lives today. I'm changing lives today, because you are, like even in the littlest ways. And when you show up consistently, like there will be more people who will reach out to you and tell you that. And it's so motivating and inspiring to hear that kind of stuff when you just don't even believe it sometimes. So yeah, just even more like more of a reason to keep showing up, because even if they're not getting signed up with you, you're still making an impact in their life on the daily just from you showing up on social media.
Any questions on anything? Okay. We've got like 7 minutes left before it kicks us off. Anything whatsoever. I don't know. Like Leanna, how cold is it in Chicago?
Freezing.
It's so cold here. I just took Lola for a walk before this, and it was like pitch black and frozen. I can just play Hunter Hayes again.
We can use the last 8 minutes to send some invites.
Team invite party.
All right, Alexander, what's your question? You can unmute yourself if you want, and you can type it. Or you're unmuted if you want to say it.
Okay, my question, hi. I guess it's just like, I'm a little confused with, there's so many groups now, like signing up to be a coach. It's like the wellness thing, the challenge, the group, or like coaching. Like I don't actually start any coaching thing yet until I do like a one-on-one, right? Thing?
Yeah. So I know like you literally just started, so I'm super stoked that you hopped on our team call. But the way it works, like we'll do your challenge, like you're working through that, and then you'll work through your coach prep course. And then once you finish your coach prep course, which is like 14 days long, we will do a one-on-one and just kind of like hash out, you know, everything and go over questions and stuff.
Okay, cool. So now I just focus on like my shift shop challenge and then work.
Yeah, just focus on your journey. And like, honestly, it's up to you. If you want to do the coach prep course right now, like while you're going through your challenge, you can, if you want to get a jump on coaching. But if you don't, like you can just work through your challenge. And then once you're done with it, you can work through the prep course. So, but I sent you like a welcome to coaching email, I'm pretty sure. So all of that should be in the email too.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if nobody's got any, let me see. There's something in the chat. Okay, no, it's just all stuff. If nobody has any questions, I can stop recording and we can utilize the extra few minutes to send some invites and hit those Success Club numbers before the end of the month.
Yes.
Thanks for hanging out, guys. If anything comes up, know that you can always reach out to Leanna or myself or anybody else on the team. That's what's awesome about this community, is that we're all just here to help you and find success. And we'll see you guys again in a few weeks. I feel like it's been so long since I've seen you all. Even though it's probably like Monday night, but still.
Forever. Bye, guys. Have a